All right, so we're gonna go do this Overdrive Initiative thing for folks. There's 5 missions that we have to do. They will pop up. They'll say Overdrive Initiative, Intel, what's it called? Intel Raid, and it'll say like 1/5. All right, this will basically take us to a bunker somewhere in the system. I mean, we're probably gonna be jumping all over the system tonight. You'll go into the bunker. There will be bad guys. They will look like this. This is the new Xeno Threat uniform. Okay, light, medium, heavy. Basically dark gray with red with the Xeno Threat kind of weird skull looking logo either on the chest or on the helmet for the heavy guy.
Teal and pink.
Yeah. So there will be 5 or 6 of these dudes running around in the bunker. The bunker will be one of those that has the server farm in the back. So after we kill off these guys in the bunker, then there will also be an engineer that's running around with him. He will just be wearing a white hard hat and he'll be wearing a tool vest. He won't have a weapon and he won't be wearing armor. He'll just be wearing work clothes. You can either knock him out or you can kill him. Doesn't matter which. He will have on him, he will have a key card. Basically, it'll look like the key card off of the Black Kite mission that you get. You can either grab that, or if you have hack chips on you, you can just brute force your way in with a hack chip too. So you don't have to have that key card because you can do it with a hack chip. But if you can just find the engineer and loot him for the key card, then you don't have to worry about burning off a hack chip. Basically, you'll go back into whoever. We're going to have to work as a team to accomplish this, particularly on the later ones, 3, 4, and 5. They increase the number of uploads you have to handle and less time to find the codes to keep the servers from melting down. So we'll have probably somebody who's going to be our designated terminal babysitter that'll sit back there, put the key card or the hack chip in back here in the back. It'll go through this accessing system. If you use a hack chip, if you use the key card, it goes right past this and you'll go right into this upload screen here. So this upload will start. You'll have you'll see at the top of the mission, it'll say upload, like, 0 of 2 on the first one. The how many uploads you'll have to do is n+1. So on the first mission, it'll be 0 of 2. On the second mission, it'll be 0 of 3. On the 5th mission, it'll be 0 of 6. So you have more and more missions to do, or more and more uploads to do as you go later and later in the missions. The rest of us, after, like I said, after we've taken down the bad guys and they're starting that, the upload will start happening, and then the individual servers will start cooking down. The rest of us are going to go flow out into the bunker area, not the back in the server room, out in the both upstairs and downstairs, out in the main bunker area. And there are display panels all over the place. I'm sure you've seen them before, because they're just background art in days previous. They basically look like a widescreen TV on the wall or on a console or on the side of that machine or whatever like that. They have a bunch of bar graphs on the left side, and they'll have like 2 speedometers kind of on the right side, one that says temp, one that says RPM. Down at the bottom, there will be a blue-gray bar that'll say no notifications at the bottom border of that display. These things will be everywhere. I mean, they're all over the place. And one of them will turn and it will change to look like this. At the bottom one, the bottom border will turn red and it'll say firewall activated, connection blocked, or something like that. And it'll pop up with this blue dialog box. And what you're going to have to go in there is you're going to have to look for, if you can see my cursor, there will have the server number will be the second line from the bottom. It'll say S- and a 3-digit number. And then in the dead middle, it'll say reset code, and it'll have a 4-digit code. You need to communicate that code back to whoever the terminal babysitter is back in the server room for them to walk over to that server, punch it into the key code at the end of the server to turn the cooling back on. You have a limited amount of time to do it. There will only be one display that will show this per time you have to do it. You might have to do it more than once per upload. So what we were doing yesterday when me and Knight and Daly were just running this mission to see how it works, so we could talk intelligently to you today about it, so that we could just go in and bang it out. We just basically, like I said, you have one person who's the babysitter, just sits back at the terminal and to go punch in codes on server cooling systems. And the rest of us just keep running around. You know, we can divide up and go, hey, you got upstairs, I got downstairs. You can do like, you can divide it up. But you're just going to constantly running around to the same 6 or 8 displays until you see which one pops with this, because it only displays this for a limited amount of time. In the first mission, you only have to do 2 uploads, and the display with the code stays up longest. By the 5th mission, you have to do 6 uploads, and the display stays up the shortest. So as you get up in the missions, in the 5 missions, you have to do more uploads, and you have shorter amounts of times to find the code before the server, before the affected server cooks itself. So that's why this is much better done with a group of people. I've done this. I spent most of yesterday playing. That's where I met Hitty, and Hitty decided to join the org. Running this thing. 3 people wasn't too difficult. 4 people was like perfection. More people is going to make this like super easy, even on the 6th one. I tried it earlier with a different group with only 2 guys. Like we did it with 4 people on the first and the second mission, and then 2 of the guys logged off, and me and the second guy just tried it as a 2-man, and we ended up failing it because we couldn't get to the, like, I got to the last display that had the last code just as it disappeared, like before I could see what the 4-digit code was. So that's the gist. Yes, the bad guys will respawn during this while we're running around, so you can never stop paying attention to the spawn closets, but they don't spawn in huge numbers. They come out of the spawn closet, single guy per spawn closet, and on a respawn there might be 3 or 4 of them. So we do need to bring in at least one heavier asset to be able to handle turrets, because every single one of these bunkers will be hostile territory. There will be, most of the time it was a single turret. A couple of times there was 2 turrets. One time there were 4 turrets. So I haven't really cracked the code on how it chooses how many turrets. But so we'll probably bring something like a Redeemer. We can kind of decide when we get in there if we want to just all pile into a Redeemer, or whether we want to bring several assets. Like maybe somebody wants to bring a red or a Pisces Rescue. So if anybody gets a tier 3, we can just handle it and then move on to the next. The mission shows up as a priority mission. It is not a server wide like the old Xeno threat. This is the new Xeno threat mission. It does not show up like everybody can take it the way it used to be. It'll show up, and then when somebody pulls it off, it's off for like 5 minutes. I think a new one shows up like every 5 minutes. Maybe it's 10. I don't think we really measured how long it was before the next one popped up. But when someone takes it, you got to wait the next 5 minutes for another one to pop up. But it is shareable amongst the entire party. So somebody can take it, and it doesn't matter which one you're on. So I got all 5 of 5, but it won't affect whoever takes the mission. It will gauge whether you're on mission 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of the sequence for that person, and anybody else who's on a different like a higher level mission. You can go in and do it. It doesn't hurt anything, but it doesn't count for you. So if you're on 3 of 5 and we're doing a number 1 of 5 because so-and-so just showed up and this was their first, then okay, you go in there. It's going to be easier, but it doesn't advance your advancement. So you actually have to do a 1 of 5 mission. You have to do a 2 of 5 mission. You have to do a 3 of 5 mission, a 4 of 5, and a 5 of 5 mission. Before Invictus. So this will continue going on. This new Xeno threat, this Overdrive Initiative, is the new Xeno threat schema for that. They're going to add a new set of missions that have to be completed every week. between now and Invictus. And if you do them all, and I assume if they're going to make this one 5 little mini missions that you have to do, I imagine all the rest are going to be something like that. So each week we'll have to kind of figure out what the flavor of the week is on that, and then we will go in and get them done. If you get them all done, then when Invictus comes, they will give you a free token to transfer to convert an F7C Mark II to an F7A Mark II. F7A Mark II being the big hero military fighter jet from Squadron 42. Anywho, okay. Looks like Drake started a party. Let me shoot out some party invites.
Or we like to partay.
We like to partay. We like to get down. As far as over on Twitch, I'm going to stop the stream for just a moment, and then I'm going to start it just so I have a break point for our editor person, so that the academics and the gameplay are 2 different things. So if anybody's watching over on Twitch, don't run away. We'll be back in like 5 or 10 seconds, however fast I can push the buttons and repush the buttons.